Hello, and welcome to State of the Art with Con Art. Today's art state is crackshipping. What is crackshipping, you may ask? It's where you take two characters and you put them in a relationship, but the two characters happen to be completely different franchises or different TV shows or anything else like that, because who cares about a thing like universes? If you want those characters together, you can put them together and make them kiss like little dolls. Those of us here at Mercury Melon Studios happen to like video games. If you have seen A.D. Vance's video game playthroughs, I am sorry, but that's not important here. What's important is, as a lover of video games and the lover of characters in video games, I happen to love several characters, and I enjoy the idea of putting them together and making them kiss like little dolls. That's why I have the pairing of Nick Valentine from Fallout 4 and Luigi from Mario Brothers. I imagine the two of them would get along like hot glue and staples, because that's what it would take to keep Nick Valentine together. Nick Valentine is a mess of a man and even more of a mess of a robot, because he has a dead girlfriend that isn't even his dead girlfriend, because he has the memories of a cop from pre-war America who's now long dead. Luigi Mario of the Mario Brothers has problems as well, though less involved in the death of a loved one and more of his loved ones overshadowing him in several ways, such as being more popular and being braver and things like that. He is also haunted by several ghosts, including that of King Boo, who constantly kidnaps his brother and forces him to go through weird little puzzles involving ghosts in order to rescue his brother. So it stands to reason that despite the fact that Luigi is considered cowardly, he would, in fact, go through very dangerous situations in order to help and save his loved ones. Much like Nick Valentine would. Except Luigi does it better, because Luigi has actually gotten out of situations, and meanwhile, Nick Valentine gets kidnapped and has to be rescued by the player character in Fallout 4. Considering the way that you meet Nick Valentine is that you have to rescue him from being captured by some people in a thing. I never actually played the game, I just write a lot of fanfiction. Which is why I'm well equipped to write a fanfiction involving Nick Valentine and Luigi meeting and falling in love. But I'm not putting in that effort for you today. What I will do instead is give you my thoughts on how this fanfiction will go, so that you may draw your own conclusions onto whether or not it should be written, and whether or not you will want to write it, because I certainly will not. I'm a little too busy to write fanfiction right now, so yeah, this is the best you're gonna get. You just have to put up with it, okay? So getting started with it, I believe what would happen is Nick Valentine would somehow find a warp pipe and fall down it through some weird shenanigans and accidentally end up in the Metro Kingdom, as seen in Mario Odyssey, because that's pretty much, where the people who look like Nick Valentine live. He looks human enough, so he would blend in at first and people would just assume that he's just, a weird robot that someone made, until he starts questioning, why the technology still works or whatever, trying to get answers about, where the heck he is and what happened. And people probably start realizing that, oh, this guy isn't from around here and he doesn't know how he got here. We should talk to somebody about, what to do. And so they go to, I don't know who's in charge of the Metro Kingdom. I know that Pauline is the mayor of New Donk City, but, that's just part of the Metro Kingdom. I don't know who they go to. They go to someone, and eventually they go down the line until they get to the Mario Brothers, who, are always the ones who get involved with fixing things around here. Because they're plumbers who are the ones who deal with pipes and bullshit like that, including people who fall through pipes when they're not supposed to. Nick Valentine is very annoyed by the whole situation because this is very different from what he's used to. In fact, he's not used to, not being in a grimy little place full of people who are super violent. Or all the creatures being weird little cutesy things and not like big giant scary monsters that are terribly mutated. But I'm sure he would appreciate being able to get a good cup of coffee, even though he's a robot, and he shouldn't be able to eat, and yet he does. But he would talk with the Mario brothers, and he would get to know them and get to know their deal, and they would endeavor to help him, because that's what they do. And maybe Mario's the one to go out and do the exploration to figure out how to fix this. Maybe the princess got kidnapped and all this is involved with Nick Valentine being there. So Luigi can stay at home and keep Nick Valentine company and, host him, so he has a place to stay. So he's not just, homeless and dying in the rain of rust and exposure, because he sure is full of holes. And so they get to know each other, and Nick introduces Luigi to the concept of Chicago deep dish pizza, which is a travesty because Luigi's from New York, and, they have that bit of argument about, whose pizza is better, and Nick admits that he's never actually had a deep dish. He just has the old Nick's memories from when the old Nick was in Chicago about, that pizza. And they have a laugh about it. It's all good and fun, and Nick gets to relax for once and actually, have a chance to playfully banter with someone without having to worry about dealing with the kidnapping himself, because, that's Mario's job, and he doesn't have to do the detective work for it this time. At some point, Luigi would mention the fact that he's pretty good with robots. He's done a few, mechanical things in the past, and offers to give Nick a little bit of a tune-up and see if there's any, thing he can get into and repair and, make function better. Because Nick Valentine is probably full of cigarette grime. Do you know how much he smokes? He's a robot. Why does he smoke? Why? What is this man? I know he's supposed to be, a synth and supposed to, almost be human, essentially, but, I don't think he has lungs or a stomach or anything to process all that food and cigarettes and everything that he puts in his body that he shouldn't. Oh my gosh, man, are you okay? Are you just trying to gum up your works? I'm a robot too. I'm concerned about you. Not to mention all the radiation poisoning that you're probably emitting from being in such a highly radioactive world. If Luigi weren't able to just eat those, health mushrooms, I'd be worried about him. Oh my gosh, man, you're a mess. No wonder Luigi, wants to clean you up and, be the I can fix him of the situation. At least the two of you get to trauma bond together. I mean, you may not have been in very similar situations, but you sure have both been in situations. Anyway, so let's just say that with the mechanical tune-up, things get a little bit intimate, when you have another man's hands inside your body, things get weird. Things get tension of sorts. But things can't get too far before, something comes to interrupt, such as Mario returning with some news about finding a way that Nick could potentially go back home and going to, have to deal with the fact that, right, Nick does have to go home, he does have responsibilities, and he doesn't want to have to leave behind the people he cares about in his homeworld. But he also doesn't want to have to leave behind Luigi, who he's come to care for quite a bit, and, especially with his, whole deal of being scared to lose people he loves, romantically, considering the whole dead girlfriend thing. But after some angst and some, heartfelt I love yous and whatever, they would probably find a way that they could visit each other, or particularly Nick can go to the Mushroom Kingdom, because it'd probably be very scary for Luigi to go to the Fallout universe, where, it's suffering from nuclear fallout, hence the name. Luigi might be from New York, but New York's not the same when it's in ruins and full of mutated monsters of very violent and dangerous sorts. So they would promise to meet each other again and, come back and visit, and Nick returns home as Luigi's potential boyfriend. He's not quite sure because he's insecure. What a loser. I love him. Mario, meanwhile, gets to tease Luigi about, like, having a crush on the robot, and Luigi kind of sort of implies that things almost got intimate, and Mario gets like, oh, wait, no. I had to vet him first. I'm your brother. I need to, be the one to make sure that the people you're dating are okay, and, that leads into the sequel fic that I'm not going to describe, where Nick comes back and has been coming back frequently and, dealing with Mario wanting to make sure that he's okay for his brother and all of those shenanigans that happen in regards to that. And also the fact that people know that Luigi's dating Nick Valentine now. And being worried about it in the sense that, like, what do you mean Mario's brother got, like, a boyfriend who's a weird detective robot? Huh. I wonder if we can use this to our advantage. We're villains. And so essentially leading up to the idea that the sequel could have more of an adventure kind of tone. But that's for other people to write and not me. I already did this whole plot outline for you. Take it, leave it, whatever. It's there. It's in existence. Goodbye. And so that's my book report on how I believe a Luigi and Nick Valentine romance would start in a fanfiction. I expect full A's, 100%, and a cookie for doing a good job. Hey, who's the director here? Can I have a cookie? Python Melon, is it you? Can I have a cookie? No? Okay. What do you mean it's because I'm a robot? Ugh. The cruelty of being made of wires. At least I'm not smoking. Anyway, both the Mercury and the Melon Twitters are now defunct because shenanigans happening in the present day. So instead, follow our co-hosts. You can find Alexander Mercury at All Is Laughter, and you can find Python Melon at Python Melon. They both also have Ko-fi accounts under the same usernames. Please donate if you have spare money and think that I did a good job, because that's the only way I get paid. They don't pay me otherwise. They don't pay their employees very well. They only pay us through tips, and I really want to buy a cookie. Okay, bye!